accept those behavior, certainly not in our name, is what we should be saying. Thirdly, about this particular narrative, some people think, and this is unfortunate, what happens to a person is that you can become quite extreme in your views. You can be very extreme one day from left, very liberal maybe, and you can become very extreme on the other, very right, conservative maybe. Those two swings in Islam is not allowed. Rasulullah said, it's not allowed that you should swing between the extremes. What is Islamic is what Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawzi said very beautifully. Islam is like the valley between two mountains. Our state of being as Muslims should always be in the middle, balanced. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. Allah says in the Quran that we have created you a nation justly balanced in the middle. Moderation is what we should be following. Anyone who enters into Islam forcefully and wants to live a life forcefully, they will be destroyed by the very nature that they have adopted, Rasulullah said. So we should be very careful. Those are the three characteristics of those people who believe in such a narrative. And we should not believe in those narratives at all. I don't know the name of those people. They don't have a name at the moment. They have many names, and I can't be listing all their names. But we as Muslims believe changes happen slowly. We believe change happens peacefully and not through violence. We believe in Islam as moderate and the balanced way. We believe as we being the witnesses and people of peace. Rasulullah said, spread peace. Spread peace. For peace is the only way we can make things happen. He himself said that if you wish to take revenge on everybody, if you inflict injury on somebody, and that person takes injury on somebody else, eventually everyone will be injured. It's better for you to forgive. That is the essence of the faith. So that narrative, as it stands, we reject, and nothing to do with Islam. Our narrative is of change, of moderation, of peace, but we don't turn the other cheek when somebody slaps me on this one. I'm firm and resolute about my faith. You can't take advantage of me. I'll stand firmly against injustice, even if it means I have to go against myself, my parents and my family, for that is what God says in the Quran. I am a Muslim by definition, I am a Muslim by my nature, and I submit to all levels of peace, for I will struggle to ensure peace remains. That's my motto. Those are not the mottos of those who do alternative, and I believe they abuse Islam in a major way. Brother over there.
Say something about the Khilafah, the system of Khilafah for the 21st century and its possibility, and how will you say if yes, there is any possibility for 21st century? How will it come with the globalization? So how will you define it?
How long have we got?
Well, another 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I can't answer that question in 5 minutes for sure. The brother's question is, can I give you a political model for the future of Islam, where Islam and Muslims will come together and create whatever they want to create, called Khilafah or anything else? I don't have 5 minutes, and I don't think 5 minutes will be sufficient to answer it. But let me say very quickly. In the future, and today and tomorrow, as we struggle within the Muslim world, for my struggle is here. I want to make that very clear. I'm not struggling in the Muslim world, I'm struggling here. And I have a knock-on effect in the Muslim world. If you go back to your countries and you struggle, your struggle should be to root your country of corruption and dictatorship and despotic regimes, so that people can be free to determine their own future. You want to become a community of people who are sufficiently empowered so that you can be independent without Western governments interfering in your affairs. That's what your struggle should be. Once the societies at large, Muslim communities in different parts of the world at large have made those reforms possible, if they wish to create a political unity between themselves in a format that is suitable and conducive to their surroundings, who am I to say, dictate and suggest a way for them? I can say something to you very clearly. In Islam, unity is important. In fact, unity is an obligation. So ultimately, those societies will have to think about coming together anyway. Islam doesn't prescribe a methodology as to how you should unite and how you should establish a political unity. It doesn't prescribe you anything like that. It just gives you parameters. It says, وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ, and consult them in their affairs. And that's the only verse in the Quran which refers to consultation and a democratic process in the way we understand. If Muslim societies want to develop it further, we're welcome to and allowed and open to. What we should not be doing is prescribing and being prescriptive about it. We should allow it to be organic, evolve naturally in the context and the country in which they are, and we should encourage Muslims to think beyond their artificial borders. Unfortunately, Britain, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, and those countries who are the colonial masters are responsible for creating artificial disunities within communities. I don't believe in nation states. I'll tell you this why. The reason is, nation state, artificially created, has been a curse for the 19th, 20th, and beginning of 21st century. The quicker we remove nation states, the better it is. Well, this realization has become a norm within the European countries. Europe has got rid of its borders because it realizes human by nature must be migrating from one part of the world to the other for economic prosperity and for other reasons of travel, leisure, and pleasure. Whereas Muslim world has become more entrenched in becoming nation states. I would call for Muslim world to dismantle nation states, to come together, take away the borders so that they can have economic mobility. People can move around for leisure, pleasure, and family, and that freedom could prevail. Where government would be decentralized and people would have local responsibilities, locally elected individuals and groups of people leading them, and accountable collectively, the model will be defined and divided and devised by people as they get there. In a nutshell, that's the answer to your question. Is there another question? If not, then we will inshallah finish. We're finished. Okay, so just to finish off, look, to put my perspective to you, it takes a lot of energy from me visibly. But as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking. And you can see that I'm thinking with you. So if I've said something in my process of thinking that haven't been formulated fully, and it's half-baked as far as you're concerned, forgive me. I'm a human being. I'm still thinking and I'm still formulating my own conclusions. Maybe it will change by the time I leave this room. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But one thing you should certainly take away from this talk tonight, and that is 21st century Muslim world, where am I and how do I fit in? What can I do to change work situation I find myself, and how can I be a good, true representative of Islam and the Muslims in this 21st century? For God says, and I'll repeat again, Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will not change your fate, my fate, unless we change the conditions in which we live within ourselves. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I hope and I pray this talk will remain a motivation, or at least some way of thinking motivation for you, so that we see a better and more inclusive reform happening faster and quicker within ourselves. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah, all praise to Allah, Almighty God. It was an inspiration and motivation for me personally, and I hope you all felt that same. Few announcements to come. There's a protest for Gaza tomorrow. It's tomorrow at Queen Street, Cardiff City Centre, in front of Spa and Pizza Hut. Starts at 1 p.m. and finishes at 3 p.m. Also today we are doing collections for Gaza as well. There are buckets around the room, and this should conclude our talk. I thank everybody for their patience, and we'll be heading to Salat al-Isha, and there's also foods after the prayer by the brother who graduated and did his PhD, I believe. Thank you very much for your patience. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.